What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday, enjoying this NFL Sunday action. And of course, you know what it is. You know we're gonna go into some college football, the college playoff scenes, a couple of bowl games. But I hope everyone is having a blessed Sunday. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. When you on your way in, make sure you hit the like button, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. I just hit 300, which I'm so proud of. Um, I, 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 I really appreciate you guys for all the support in this journey. Of course, I have my brother Brent Fox in the building. Mr. I-45, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, brothers? Happy to do another show, man.
I appreciate you
What's
able to make it.
what's going on, Brent?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Good to
And
hear
then,
that, brother.
and of course, Mr. Amazing, aka Mr. Southern himself. He got to pinpoint his New Orleans Saints. So he might can jump on when he can. If not, then he gonna still support. He always support. That's my right hand man, my one of the co-hosts or the hosts of this show. So, and then also brother Big Joe Townsend. He moving and shaking. So the brothers can join anytime they want. But we will move on with the show, man. You know what it is. We're gonna hit up some boxing, man. We did not have a show last week, Southern Baller Show, that is. So we did not cover uh, the Issac Cruz and Lamont Roach fight like I wanted to, but we're gonna go ahead and cover it now, man. It ended up being a draw. A lot of people thought Issac Cruz won. A lot of people thought Lamont Roach Jr. won. Brent Fox, going to you. Who you thought won? Because I don't think it was a draw.
Oh no. I think that Lamont Roach Jr. actually won that particular fight. Um, Now, yes, to some people's argument, Issac Cruz did start off better.
He
There's
did.
no doubt about that. But at the same time, if you're looking at rounds 4 through 12, you see that there's a slow meticulation and catch up, and then eventual just kind of like takeover of the rounds from Lamont Roach Jr. Now, there are some instances where he just kind of got into two-way exchanges where he shouldn't have. He's a way better boxer than that, but he was there to prove a point and try to either get a dominant victory or some sort of stoppage. Now, that's a wrong mentality to take with a fighter like Issac Pitbull Cruz, but I do kind of understand what he was trying to do because, he has that dog in him. Like, that's what garnered attention from the Tank Davis fight, him not backing down and then him winning a good amount of those two-way exchanges to the point to where it looked like at one point in time, Tank wanted to quit. And he quite literally did when he took the knee.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, using that same mentality against somebody else, who's a high pressure or hard punching fighter, it may or may not be the best strategy. I know it catches people off guard because what you're expecting is somebody to box, move around, and make it difficult. But if you got somebody sitting in a pocket with you and you're either a high pressure fighter or a power puncher or both in this case, and this guy's just not going away, it does do something to you psychologically. So, I mean, I get what he was trying to do, but at the same time, like in the famous words of Bill Haney, he should have did the Devin Haney and made the fight much easier for himself.
Yeah, I agree. And when shout out to the General 78 Sports TV, the leader of our wonderful LDBC. He made a good point. He did not like this fight for Lamont Roach because he knew it was going to be, it was in Texas, right? So it was going to be
Yes, sir. San Antonio.
San Antonio. So it's going to be a lot of Hispanic brothers and sisters there. And if with the type of fighter Lamont Roach Jr. is, he a dog. So it's easy for him to get put in a dog fight. In my opinion, like the general said, all he had to do, man, was just box. And in my opinion, he would have made it not that close. But he got in a war with Issac Cruz, which Issac Cruz wanted. And he caught Lamont, which I can't help me out. What round was it where he was off balance?
I think it may have been like the third or fourth.
The third round. Issac Cruz caught Lamont with a good hook and caught him off guard, but it was more like he felt it, but he was more off balance and hurt. But I still thought, like to your point, Brent, I still thought that Lamont Roach edged it out barely. But because of the fanfare, I think that swayed the judges, and 78 called it. And then that punk Tank Davis sent that top. Oh, he a guard. I told you he a gatekeeper. You almost got knocked out by that gatekeeper. Get out of here, man. But JB, what was your thoughts on the fight?
And somebody said it. I disagree with this notion that you have to, you can't beat the champion off points. You have to beat him definitively. But I think he did that. I think it was close at the beginning, and I think, especially with the referee taking the points from Issac Cruz in the later round, I forget which round it was, for him clinching and holding so much.
I must say that black ref did a good job. Go ahead, JB.
Yes, he was doing a lot of. Issac was doing a lot of dirty stuffs, i.e., Sean Porterish type shit. Coming in with the head. You know what I'm saying? Using elbows, using shoulder to rough up Lamont, but Lamont was game. Lamont showed you why he was in there and gave, Tank Davis a tough fight, while Tank Davis had to take a knee. You know what I'm saying? I just think in the later rounds, like Brother Brent said, after the fourth round, you could see that Roach controlled the fight. He did everything he wanted to do to Cruz. If he wanted to bang with him, he banged with him. If he wanted to box him, he boxed him. But this is why, I don't mind having, the new regime coming in, the brother over there from Saudi Arabia,
Big Turk.
What's his Big Turk coming in, because Turkey out of sheep, because it's the same old stuff. People who shouldn't win don't get to win, and I think it's because of Tank Davis. And I love how Tank Davis, as far as how he fights, but I'm not a fan of how he do business or how he does his business as far as fighting the champions and fighting the fighters we want to see. So it just the whole politics of it all, man. I'm just sick of it, because we haven't heard of that brother Tank from months now, and all of a sudden when Lamont loses, he coming on Twitter talking trash. Nah, bro, I'm not with that.
Even though the fight was, in my opinion, was a clown show when he agreed to fight Jake Paul. Bro, you fumbled the fucking bag. You fumbled the bag with that, and then you got the nerve to be on social media talking shit about Lamont Roach. Man, get your clown ass out of here, man.
Yeah. is a clown, bro. That brother just need to get his life together. Cause I don't think he know what he wants to do. He want to be a boxer or um, a brother that beat up on women. You know, he got to make a choice. You know, but
The beat up on women is not funny, but that's just how you said it. Yeah, man. Like, what you want to be? You want to be a thug or you want to be a boxer, man? Come on, can't be. Come on, bro. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this a step further too,
go ahead, man.
brother.
go ahead, bro.
Tank Davis, in the words of Black Fight Fan, is boxing's Harlem Globetrotter. Shout out to Black Fight Fan for coining that. What did he
Shout out to
call
Black.
him? He called him Boogaloo Jenkins. That's what it was. Boxing's Boogaloo Jenkins. You know, he has already quite literally said and shown you that he cares nothing about legacy and what he's actually going to leave this sport with, as far as a significant imprint. Doesn't care about any of that. He cares about where his next check is coming from, and then how popular he may be as a result of that big payday. That's it. That's all. And for that, Tank Davis is a waste of talent and skill. Talent is God-given. Skill is what you actually build in a gym. So basically, this man is so self-destructive that he's quite literally wasted his own life off of just trying to grab the next bag. So if you're doing that and you don't respect yourself, shout out to Junior the Truth for pointing stuff like this out. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't respect yourself enough to try to impart some sort of legacy or something that you can leave behind that other people behind you can pick up and use for themselves, then you're a complete waste of space, to be quite honest. And this is not anything that I wouldn't say in Mr. Davis's face at the risk of, getting myself injured. I have to stand behind what I said, and if he doesn't like it, then he needs to take a good long look in the mirror and figure out what he needs to do with himself to become a better person, not just a better boxer or anything else like that. So you mean to tell me that you wasted all this time, all this effort, and then all this talent just to do what you're doing right now? And then, to be quite honest with you, you probably finna be broke in the next 3 or 4 years. Damn. If that, you're going to wind up being just like Adrian Broner. And I hate to do that. But he's going to wind up being like Broner. Him and Broner are going to be out there just begging for the next payday. And I hate that with Adrian Broner. But he's broken my heart too many times, man. And I've obviously seen this movie. So, Tank, get ready, baby. Get ready, because who you respected going up is going to be who you need coming down. And that's all I'm finna say about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Let's move on from that clown, man. And I know we try to, stay away from the name calling, but man, you blessed, man, to have an opportunity to use your God gifted gifts as an athlete, and then you just fumbling the bag, man. But whatever. But it was a good fight. Lamont Roach and Issac Cruz was a good fight, even though I didn't think it was a draw. But on the other note, Devin Haney is set to face another welterweight unification fight. Lewis Crocker. He's a overseas welterweight, and I believe he has the IBF welterweight championship belt. What's your opinion on that? Because a lot of Devin Haney haters like, oh, how come he's not fighting? Giving Ryan a rematch or fighting Rolly or something of that foolishness. But I'm starting with you, Brent. What you think of Devin the Dream Haney going after another champion?
He's doing what he's supposed to do. Oh, excuse me. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And for those that have issue with that, I mean, if someone else, say like a Ryan Garcia or a Rolly Romero, were doing the same thing, nobody would have anything to say about it. But since it's Devin, people are going to quote unquote give the cold hard facts and try and keep you 100 and all that other crap that they say. But yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and I'm sure that he'll probably circle the block and get the next belt from whomever else has it. But it's just not their turn right now, so it is what it is.
I agree. I think he's doing something that's awesome as far as legacy, man. Going after other champions. He just took the belt from the young bull, and I'm blanking on his name, y'all. I'm sorry.
Brian Norman Jr.
Brian Norman Jr.
Brian Norman Jr. He just took the belt from that young brother. Now he's going after another champion. So I think nothing wrong with it. JB, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think first of all, as far as him fighting anybody else besides who he's supposed to fight with, what you're supposed to do, Tank. But yeah, like him fighting like Ryan and Rolly. I think Rolly just come out and say he doesn't want to fight Devin.
I'm not sure if those were his exact words, but yeah, he was kind of alluding to something like that.
Well, alluding and trying to, looking for a way out. So we know how that fight gonna go. So
there you go.
As for Ryan always got some shit going on, so ain't no telling.
I hope Mario Barrios beats his ass. I really do. I hope Mario Barrios beats his ass.
But that's definitely can happen. I look, man. I think Ryan, without his juice, is an average fighter. Period. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, man.
There's a reason why. How you get kicked out of another cheater's gym? Yeah, I just leave it like that. If you know, you know. I mean, but
that's real. That's real.
But as far as Devin Haney, I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? The dream. He's been doing it the right way. Win. I ain't gonna say win or lose because he's been winning. And in my opinion, he ain't never lost. You know what I'm saying? Without getting cheated. But hey, he going after another fighter with another belt. Crocker. I think he just got the belt because Boots faked the belt, that particular belt, and went up. So, hey, brother, collect belts. Continue padding your legacy, brother. Shout out to the dream.
Yes, sir. Shout out to J Bar Salute family and chat. Go Colts. Yeah, Colts are playing an old ass Phillip Rivers right now, and from what I'm seeing, because I'm doing the show and taking a glance when I can, the old man ain't look too bad, but we're gonna see when the Seahawks defense start raising that pressure, send that pressure his way. Salute to first one in here. Salute to the family, Coach 67 Sports TV. Salute, brother. We already know what you're doing. It's all good, man. We appreciate you always supporting. But yeah, man. And real fast, and we're gonna get off of boxing. We're gonna go to football, fellas. One thing is the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. I'm gonna say this. I want to hear y'all thoughts. If AJ don't do nothing but to obliterate Jake Paul, It was scripted, as Deontay Wilder said in the interview this past week, and I agree.
Most definitely.
Because ain't no damn way. Brent, go. What's your thoughts on the fight?
My thoughts are actually the same thoughts that you have, my brother. Not to make this no echo chamber, because we have different mentalities. We'll get into that later.
Right.
But no, if Anthony Joshua, I won't even say quick work. If he does not, for whatever reason, control this fight, I'm not even saying that he has to actually knock Jake Paul out. Surprisingly, if he doesn't have control of this fight, then yeah, the fix is definitely in. And for me, I honestly think that it's going to be another Mike Tyson situation. I think that, hey, if you don't hit me hard, I'm not going to hit you hard, and let's just get this bread. And then Jake Paul can be like, "Whoa, yeah, I stood up to Anthony Joshua, but did you really?" Yeah, so I expect another Mike Tyson-esque type fight. I don't expect Anthony Joshua to do what he's supposed to do. He compromises himself so much, and with him not fighting Wilder back in 2017, that was kind of further proof of that. He says all the right things and all of that stuff in post-fight interviews, but what his actions show is that he is interested only in trying to conserve himself and then get as much money as possible. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything really wrong. Well, there is, especially in this type of business. Again, if you're not willing to actually risk it, then what you doing this for?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. JB, what's your thoughts?
Man, I'll go further. If AJ don't knock out Jake Paul, I'm looking at everybody involved sideways. And I'm, as far as, what I'm saying, what are you trying to do? That's going to be a black eye on the sport. And I'll go further and say AJ should never lace him up again.
Damn.
He just go ahead and do what he want to do, rap, be a model, be in a movie, whatever the hell he want to do. If he don't go ahead and knock that boy out. Because stylistically, Francis Ngannou is more of a threat than Jake Paul is, because even though Jake Paul has boxed, but he's boxed old. First of all, old past their prime UFC fighters. Then when he fought a boxer that was a low-level boxer that was active, like Tyson Fury brother, he lost.
Ding, 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 ding.
Then he went and got dragged Mike Tyson out of the whatever he was doing. Mike Tyson doing commercials and podcasts. Now he, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know. Prime Mike Tyson, that fight would have been 0.5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It would have been over. But I mean, we all already know what that was. Mike was just trying to get a check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But AJ is active, and he fought another champion in Daniel Dubois, and even though he got knocked out in that fight, that round he got knocked out and got caught by Dubois. He hurt Dubois and just got caught with a hook in the corner.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? This shouldn't be a close fight. And if they, I understand they got to sell. It's on Netflix. What's worried about me is I just thought it's on Netflix, right, fellas?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this shit gonna be scripted. Y'all just get ready.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Just get ready. But then again, wasn't
Craw-
Canelo and Terrence Crawford on Netflix as well?
But you looking
Yes,
at
that
two.
also was, yes.
But you're looking at
Okay.
two other. That's a different other beast. Crawford ain't gonna lay down for nobody for no money. He trying to be the best, and, and he almost knocked out Canelo because you know the Canelo legs was getting gone. And I've said if that fight was a 15-round fight, Canelo would have been knocked out, TKO.
Yeah, he was slowing down completely. I agree with that. But yeah, man, I don't dislike um Jake Paul. I think he lit a fire in the boxing.
Right,
Uh, as far as fighters like Tank not fighting who they supposed to fight,
and he did.
and AJ.
And he did a good job on the female cards,
Yeah,
female boxing
giving
cards.
them sisters some money, giving
Mm-hmm.
them
Mm-hmm.
some bread that normally they wouldn't get in the boxing promotions and network. So I got respect for Jake Paul in that point of view. But as far as boxing, him beating AJ, I can't see it.
No, nor should we.
No,
Facts.
and that's pretty much my points about that.
All right. Okay. Um, let's go ahead and go into football, fellas, man. So as you know, the regular season is over. A lot of bowl games are going to be played during the week. All toward the next weekend, this coming up weekend. So, which bowl game you think gonna interest you? So, for example, we have Jacksonville State versus Troy. We have South Florida versus Old Dominion. Poor Old Dominion. Delaware versus Louisiana. That's Louisiana Monroe. No, that's Louisiana Lafayette. Excuse me, the Raging Cajun playing Delaware. Arkansas State versus Missouri State. And then you have your Western Michigan versus Kennesaw State. NC State versus Memphis. That's actually gonna be good. I'm gonna watch that because I want Memphis Man's Tigers to beat NC State. I think that's gonna happen. And we're gonna get into the playoffs, but then we got Big Joe's Louisville Cardinals going against Toledo Rockets. Then Southern Miss versus Western Kentucky, Ohio versus UNLV, Utah State versus Washington State, California versus Hawaii. California should win that game. Here's gonna be a good one, fellas. BYU versus Georgia Tech.
That's a good game.
And then you got Clemson versus Penn State.
Mm.
TCU versus USC Trojans.
Now I'm gonna tune into that one.
And then you got Texas versus Michigan.
Boy.
Come
Oh,
on,
man.
why they pairing Utah versus Nebraska? Utah gonna beat the brakes off of Nebraska, in my opinion. And then you got one of the better bowl games is Vanderbilt versus Iowa.
Okay.
Vanderbilt should win, but Iowa one of them teams.
Yeah, you can mess around and yeah.
They'll get up to play you.
They're gonna be good defensively.
Yep. Duke versus Arizona State. SMU versus Arizona. But so on and so forth. But which bowl game do you fellas think you're gonna tune into?
For me, it's always gonna be Texas. So definitely the SMU game. and then definitely the TCU game.
Okay. Myself, I'm a Vanderbilt versus Iowa, but because Vanderbilt had a historic 10-win season, which is the first time in a long time. But JB, what ball game you got your eye on?
That Georgia Tech BYU game, man. That's going to be a good game. Both quarterbacks that can, get it done in the air and on the ground.
Haynes King and Bachmeier, Bear Bachmeier.
Yeah. So I've been watching them during this season, and then the other one is going to be the Memphis and NC State game that I'm gonna watch.
Because you want Memphis to beat NC State, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely, and then of course we gave our picks last show, but since we got the brother Brent Fox on, we gonna go into the brackets again, man. The playoff brackets. So, James Madison made it. So that was a new update. James Madison versus Oregon. Of course, okay. I got Oregon, but who you fellas got? James Madison. You think James Madison got a shot?
You know what? I'm gonna shout outs to Arthur Moats, who's a former Pittsburgh Steelers player and also a very successful podcaster for the Pittsburgh Steelers as well.
Nobody cares. Go ahead.
Logic, yeah, okay, yeah. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Logically, Oregon should be able to win this matchup, but I'm gonna go JMU.
I think I commend you for doing. James Madison made a playoff. That's actually they shouldn't be surprised because they've been making the playoffs in the FCS level for a lot of years. So this is an accomplishment to make it in the FBS level. But I think Oregon got a little bit too much firepower. I'm still picking the Oregon Ducks, unfortunately. JB, what you think?
I mean, we said it, last year with when you had the like Arizona States and the SMUs versus the Penn States, you'll see the difference between the talent and the line of scrimmage. I think the skill positions is going to be similar and not that different as far as talent, but that line of scrimmage is going to see either be, we're going to underestimate it or we're going to see a great big deal of a difference. Where the predominantly, what would you call them, Jared? The
defensive lineman and old lineman.
Yeah, from the what type of schools? The FBS and the FCS. Yeah. The Power 5, schools, their lines are going to be much more because they got all the talent, basically. Yeah. They got the 4 stars, the 5 stars. So, but if James Madison can withstand that and prove that they can withstand that, the line of scrimmage and win that battle or do well, then they got a chance.
Yeah, them trenches matter. Speaking of trenches, we got Big Joe Townsend, LDBC Business in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's good, family? What's going on? Excuse my tardiness. I'm in between doing some commercials and advertisement for Old Hillside. So while I got some time, I need to come delegate with the brothers. What's going on with y'all?
We blessed. Speaking of Old Hillside, the website is right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want some bourbon, or any type of whiskey, Old Hillside Bourbon Company.com. There it is. It's black owned. And please continue support. All right. And Big Joe, we just got done talking about boxing. We talk about the Lamont Roach fight. And then Lamont Roach and Issac Cruz fight, and then we talk about Devin Haney going after another belt, the IBF belt against Lewis Crocker, and then we talked about the Jake Paul versus AJ fight that's coming up this coming up weekend. So anything, I know that's a lot, but anything do you want to touch on before we talk about this ball?
Whew. Well, I know Devin Haney was trying to fight Rolly Romero. You know, he knows Rolly Romero. They've been sparring for years, so Rolly knows what's up when it comes to Devin. Um, Rolly Romero has a belt at 147. Devin wants to be undisputed at 147. So Rolly got a belt. I'm trying to unify. What's up with it? Rolly said, "Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no." In the words of Bill Haney, yeah, you didn't duck it. So yeah, so Rolly pretty much said flat out, said, "I'm not gonna fight you." So Devin said, "Well, I'm gonna holler at, old Crockett, David Crockett, that's Eddie Hearn boy. Eddie Hearn saying he might have to come to Ireland if you want to get this belt. Devin got many stamps on his passport, one specifically that says Australia on it 2 times. So Devin ain't got no problem going over there and taking it up off your shoulders if you don't want it. You dig what I'm saying? So it'd be interesting to see if they can make that happen. Hopefully, Eddie Hearn don't pull no shenanigans in negotiations. Hence the reason why we never got Wilder versus AJ. But but I believe that Turkey Al-Sheikh is gonna make it happen since Turkey is back in Devin Haney. So hopefully that happens. We gonna see. But shout out to Devin Haney for chasing, proving that no matter what was in America, Australia, and Ireland, he's a world champion. So when you're world champion, you can fight anywhere in the world. The world is your turf, as what Bill Haney said. And then when it comes to AJ and Jake Paul, this fight can go 3 ways. AJ can do Jake Paul how he did Francis Ngannou and put him on a t-shirt. Now, as they say, knock him the spark out, as they say, Or Jake Paul can knock down AJ, which I don't think will happen unless there's some shenanigans involved. Or it's gonna end up looking like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, where they just made it look good, and everybody gets frustrated and feels scammed and say, "I'm never gonna watch a Jake Paul fight again," but then they still gonna watch the next one. So either way, it's some shenanigans all the way. You know what I mean? But hey, that's what AJ wants to do. Cool. Because last time I saw AJ, he got dog walked by Daniel Du Bois, who then later on Daniel Du Bois got dog walked by Usyk. So yeah. Either way, AJ supposed to get 90 million, which is a whole lot more than what Tank Davis was gonna get. So folks want to criticize AJ for taking this fight. Y'all said it was cool for Tank Davis to take it because he's getting to the bag and getting to his money. Well, AJ is getting to the bag and getting to the money, so that's why they gave him 90 million to go in there to either take a dive or to make it look good. Either way, I don't think he's gonna go in there and do any damage to Jake Paul. But earn that. Fight's coming up. It's free on Netflix, so if you got Netflix, you can go ahead and watch it for free.
Facts. And read some messages in the chat here. 86 Ghost said, "Mr. Fox, I need you to put on a shirt." You looking at your picture. He was at the beach, I get. So 86 Ghost said, "Sup chat and family, what up?" 86 Ghost, man. Appreciate you supporting. Y'all make sure y'all support this brother. He got a YouTube channel as well, content creator. Make sure y'all support, like, and subscribe. Mr. Shelton, the real Mr. Shelton, bang bang, Niner gang. Yeah, we gonna see. We definitely go see. But what up, Mr. Shelton? LDCB brother in the house. And then 86 Ghost said, "Is Jake Paul a fight or an artistic performance?"
Artistic performance.
Yeah, I agree. I
I don't
definitely
know
agree.
about artistic. It's more like theatrics, if anything.
Yeah.
Cinematography, cinematics.
Oh, y'all, I forgot to ask. What y'all think about if not Jake Paul, but Deontay Wilder gets the Usyk fight? What's your opinion on that? And I want y'all to be honest. We all Deontay Wilder fans here. We support our American heavyweight, the real one anyway. Um, yeah, that was a shout at you, Jared Anderson. But anyway, uh,
Mm.
yeah, we support our real American heavyweight who held the belt for what, 10 fights?
He defended his belt 10 times. Yeah, 5 years.
That's in the record book, suckers. But anyway, what's your opinion on this fight? And I'm gonna go to my brother who just joined, Mr. Greatness, Coach 67 Sports TV. What's going on? How your Saints doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Currently, the Saints are trailing. I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. They got 3 wins. I'm not expecting them to beat Carolina. Carolina's in the playoff hunt, so it is what it is. How y'all
Right.
doing this afternoon?
Can't complain, man.
All
Glad
right.
you're able
Well,
to make it.
oh yeah. All right. Well, let me run on all the boxing topics real quick.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, I thought Lamont Roach won a close fight against Issac Cruz, in my personal opinion. I mean, it was a close fight, but like the general said, I felt like Lamont Roach cheated and he made it a tougher fight than it had to be, in my personal opinion. So that's when it comes to
That's what I
that.
said. Yeah.
That's when it comes to that. In terms of Devin the Dream Haney, that young man is striving for greatness. Bill Haney is one of the nicest people I've met in life, and I hope he do his thing. Me personally, I don't think none of them other, after he did what he did to Brian Norman Jr., I don't think any of these other welterweights won't smoke with him. You know, he even called out Tank Davis again. We know Tank Davis don't want none of that smoke, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. Hopefully he get all of those belts, but I think a couple of these fighters in the welterweight division might play keep away, in my personal opinion. But, you know, shout out to him. Shout out to Bill Haney. Shout out to Devin the Dream Haney. You know, just on his path to greatness. In terms of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, if it's a real legitimate fight, then Anthony Joshua brutally and savagely knocks out Jake Paul. If he doesn't knock him out, then we know the fix is in.
Yes, sir.
Lastly, in terms of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, you know, everybody knows that's my favorite fighter. And in all honesty, some people might say he a little over the hill, he a little past his prime, but I'm one of these people. If I rock with you, I rock with you. I'm gonna ride with you till the wheels fall off, and when they fall off, I'm gonna put them back on, and we're gonna keep on riding. You know what I'm saying? I think Usyk is gonna make it a tough fight, but I think whenever he catches him with that Alabama slammer, it's a rap sheet. You dig? He goes night night. So, in my personal opinion, that's kind of been my dream for Deontay Wilder to become the undisputed heavyweight champion. Even though Usyk has been stripped of one of those titles, we all know that he's the legitimate undisputed heavyweight champion. And I fervently believe that if he has a testicular fortitude to fight Wilder, which I believe he does because he's striving for greatness, you know, he beat the Gypsy Queen twice. He beat Apple Juice twice. I think he's going to want to fight Wilder. And I think Wilder going to turn back the hands of time, if only for one night. And I think he's going to catch him with that Alabama slammer. And it's a wrap, you dig?
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't understand that. It only take one. Y'all remember I seen Rahman did that rematch with David Tua, and he knocked David Tua on his ass. Only take one fight.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought you was going a
Styles may
different
fight.
direction. I thought you was gonna say when he hit the rematch with Lewis, and Lewis caught him with the right and flatlined him. I thought that's what you. I thought that's the
That
direction
too.
you was
That's a
going
good
in.
example. That's a
Yeah.
good example. That's a good example as well. But boxing has a lot of examples of that, man. Styles makes fights. But Big Joe, what you think about Wilder may possibly take on Usyk?
All right. I'm sorry, I'm chewing something.
I hope you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out for one. Shout out to Usyk for finally calling out Wilder. Guess they say better late than never, right? He was supposed to show up beforehand to a fight, and he didn't show up, so he ducked Wilder a while ago. But now that Usyk got all the belts, Usyk has heard the chatter of you beat everybody except Deontay Wilder. You beat everybody in your era except Wilder. So Usyk heard the chatter. Usyk's team told him, you ain't got to fight Wilder, don't worry about it. Well, part of Usyk is a warrior and a competitor. We can say whatever you want about Usyk. He's undisputed champion at cruiserweight, and he's damn near two-time undisputed heavyweight champion. He beat Fury, AJ, Daniel Dubois, a bunch of others to get to where he's at. So he's done trilogies. He's fought folks twice. So Usyk is with the smoke when he with the smoke. So the fact that he's called out Wilder and negotiating with Wilder seems like this fight should happen. To Usyk's credit, he's picking Wilder at a right time. He only had one fight with Don House, where Wilder looked good. He looked like he was working on stuff. He looked a lot better than he was with Malik Scott. So they say sometimes you need 2 or 3 fights to mesh with your trainer. But I know Don House has been there for a while, so it shouldn't take too much to acclimate, to his fighting style. But Usyk is catching Wilder at a right time. Wilder lost to Big Bang Zhang. Wilder lost to Joseph Parker. So Wilder is, on his redemption tour. He's trying to get back what he had. Wilder's an older fighter. Wilder has had multiple surgeries on his shoulder, his hands, and all that kind of stuff. But Wilder is a man who is driven. Wilder is a man who has purpose. Wilder is a man who wants to accomplish his dreams no matter what. And it just so happened that everything seemed to align to where Usyk has 3 of the belts, and he happens to challenge Wilder right now. What's the reason for that? We'll see whenever they make the fight. Wilder definitely has a chance to beat Usyk. As long as he doesn't telegraph the right hand, he should be able to beat Usyk. In the first Wilder Fury fight, Wilder telegraphed his right hand a lot, which is why he couldn't get it off. And then when he finally settled down, he caught Fury and splattered his brains all over the canvas. And then you hear Jack Reese, 1 Tyson, 2 Tyson, 3, all that kind of stuff. And then eventually he rose up. So as long as Wilder doesn't telegraph his right hand, he should be fine. Wilder comes in at his 209, 215 range. He should be good. I want to see the same Wilder who was Euro stepping in the Romain Stavane Wilder 2 fight, where Euro stepped and caught him on the ropes and flatlined him and had Romain Stavane stretched out. You know what I mean? Looking like a Snorlax from Pokemon. So
Not
ain't
Snorlax.
no time like the present. It's in your lap. You want the fight or not? You might as well fight Usyk now while he has the nuts and while he's going against his team. Because last thing you want to do is like, oh, well, give me 2 more fights. By then, Usyk might have retired. Usyk might not have the belts no more. Usyk's team might convince him not to fight Wilder. So whether Wilder is ready or not, Wilder is veteran enough to rise to the occasion. Wilder is game enough to, to do what he needs to do. He has a great trainer in Don House who's going to acclimate to Wilder's fighting style and not try to circumvent him to be something that he's not, like what Malik Scott did. So I know I'm a little long-winded, so I'm going to close right here and say, if anybody can beat Usyk right now, I'll say it's Deontay Wilder. Because he has the right hand who's the equalizer to anything. The same way he short punched He short punched that tall white dude and knocked him out. The
Hellenius,
same
yeah.
Hellenius, the same way he can catch you with a left hook and knock you out. Wilder was losing all the rounds in the Luis Ortiz fight 1 and 2. All you gotta do is catch you one time and that's it. This is the same Wilder who splattered Fury 2 or 3 times in the third fight. So he always got that right hand. So now he's injury free. He's feeling good. He's mentally clear. Hopefully, he brings the mean streak to the fight that he said that he's lost his mean streak for whatever reason. Hopefully, he can cultivate the demons, and accomplish his goal to be close to being almost undisputed at heavyweight.
I agree, man. I definitely agree. I believe the champ can do it as well. Brent Fox, what's your opinion?
My opinion is probably going to be pretty close to Joe's. Now, the only thing that I would probably say from a technical aspect is this. Usyk being a southpaw is vulnerable to left hooks and then straight right hands. So, yes, if Wilder is able to come up with a strategy to kind of highlight those, then, yeah, he should be able to get Usyk out of there, even at this stage in his career. But to Joe's point is this. What a lot of people are not thinking about is like the opportunity window that Wilder is being given. It, of course, is not going to be the best opportunity window because you would want Wilder to get at least 1 or 2 more fights in. But to Joe's point, they're not going to offer that opportunity if he does that. So he's got to take advantage of the opportunity now. And what I would actually look at is the Luis Ortiz fights. Luis Ortiz was a boxer puncher by definition. And I think Ortiz's punches may actually be harder than Usyk's. So if he's able to draw from that and then use the winning strategy that helped him, I think that first fight with Luis Ortiz, that was more or less a back and forth. Now, Ortiz did have Wilder hurt, but that was more or less like a back and forth. And I think even if Wilder didn't knock him out, I think that he probably still would have won that one. The second one, he definitely needed a knockout to win that one. But I think that, yeah, if he's able to utilize the left hook, which is probably going to be the more important punch, if he's able to utilize that left hook to get around the guard and then give Usyk some trouble, it's automatically going to open up a lane for the right hand because you're too busy occupied with the looping left hook. And nobody throws a wilder punch than Deontay Wilder. So you're not going to be able to kind of like predict that one. But as you're defending that left hook, you're going to open up a lane for that right hand. So hopefully there's a strategy that's implementing or highlighting using that left hook and then that right hand and then eventually getting Usyk out of there. That is the way to win.
I agree. I definitely agree. JB, lastly, what's your thoughts on the possible Usyk and Deontay Wilder fight?
Okay, this is gonna be in another direction as far as I agree with everybody as far as if the fights get made. If his head is not in it, I don't want him taking this fight. If he's not 100% in the face where he's mean, in the 100% where he's in the mental space where he's mean, where he's focused or healthy, I don't want him taking this fight. I don't care if the window's closing, if it's cracked. To me, when Wilder had the belts and he was trying to make the fights, everybody was, Speedy Gonzalez. Everybody had his, I got to go to my mama's house and pick up some bread, all that kind of shit. So now that he's not the Wilder he was, in his prime, so to speak, now, people are trying to, make fights for him. And I agree, or trying to make fights with him where because he's vulnerable. Um, so and I think some of the brothers said this before, and I think we said this on the panel before. Um, it's up to Deontay. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Fight him, don't fight him. I don't give a damn if he fight, Lonzel Smith from the corner store next. I don't care. I think the way he was, treated in that, especially in that Tyson Fury fight where, you could see he took damage, what I'm saying, mentally and health wise and physically. And took some years off his career because he fought a cheater and everybody okayed with that. So was okay with that. So my thing is I'll be okay on whatever he does. If he accept the fight, then that's fine. I just hope that, as Big Joe said, I hope he doesn't have any, I don't want to say excuses, but I want him to be ready. Because if he's not ready, I don't want him taking his fight. So like I said, he's my champion. He always going to be the American champion. The Alabama slamming to me, but at the same time, what I'm saying, Usyk is one of my, favorite pound for pound fighters. He's cerebral as far as when he smelled blood in the water, he can hurt you. Like he did with, Triple D, like he did with Fury. And keep it 100 in that first fight. They should have stopped. They should have stopped that Fury fight. Fury did not have any legs in that first fight. You know what I'm saying? But, we know how it is with Fury. He always get these calls where he's able to regenerate and keep going. But whatever. That's besides the point. Yeah, that too. But it's whatever with Usyk fight. If he fights him, that's fine. I support him. If he doesn't, I'm fine with that as well. Sorry for the long-winded response.
Hey, and one thing I want to add before we wrap up this particular topic, Usyk has, fought some pretty good fights at heavyweight, but the irony is, to me, Derek Chisora was the person that really fought the best fight against him, had the best strategy, had the best game plan. You cannot go in there with a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and try to sit here and outbox him. Like, you got to get, as dirty as Tyson Fury was in, those last two fights with Wilder, like choking him, trying to put him in the sleeper and a reverse chin lock and all the other stuff. It was like he trying to get there and outbox Usyk. It was stupid to me. So if and when Wilder does take the fight, I want him to fight more like Derek Chisora and lean on Usyk and push him around and try to stop him with that right hand, or like Brent Fox hit the left hook. Like, try to stop him, but don't try to sit here and outbox him and outthink him and so on and so forth. Be rough, be grimy, be physical with him, dirty box with him on the inside the way Devin Haney did with Brian Norman Jr. in the clinch. So at the end of the day, I want him to fight the right fight, and I'll go there and try to be cerebral and try to outbox Alexander Usyk. It's a recipe for disaster for any heavyweight that tries to do that.
I agree.
Agreed.
I definitely agree, man. But before we move on from boxing, because before Big Joe and Coach hopped on, we was going into football. But anybody got anything else to say about the boxing?
Yeah, I do. I want to give a shout out to Oshaki Foster on a masterful performance against Stephen Fulton Jr. Now, yeah, true enough, I guess, quote unquote, he did what he was supposed to do. But at the same time, he went in there and he put on an awesome display. So shout out to Oshaki Foster. And shout out to Frank Martin, too.
Oh, Frank Martin had the knockout of the year, in my opinion.
And how did Cool Boy Steph miss weight? I don't understand it.
Undisciplined, brother. Undisciplined.
Yeah, I mean,
Undisciplined and unfocused.
yeah, clearly, and we saw what happened too.
Yeah. And that's all there is to it, coach. He was very undisciplined and very unfocused, man.
Boy, he beat Shocky Foster beat Stephen Fulton like he stole his mama draw. That was he need to go back down.
Shit, Fulton robbed him of an opportunity to get another belt. So yeah, I beat the brakes off of somebody like that too.
And not just that, man. I don't think he gonna do well in that weight class.
Yeah, let's see Monster try to fight O'Shaquie Foster now.
Yeah.
Hey, until he beat O'Shaquie, he ain't in my top 10.
I hear you.
Just don't fight him over there in Japan or wherever he's from, where they allowed to stack. Who said that?
Facts. But speaking, we're gonna move back over to football, or college football that is. Real fast, Big Joe. How you think your Louisville Cardinals gonna do against Toledo in the bowl game?
I'll say this. As a true Louisville Cardinal, it don't matter how they do in the bowl game, because in the words of my good brother JB, we beat the dog shit out of Kentucky. Goddamn it! It don't matter how we do in the bowl game. We beat Kentucky and whoop their monkey ass and shut them out to where their coach got fired. That was the bowl game right there. Nobody care about no Toledo. Right now, the whole state of Kentucky red right now. But to answer your question, though, we should beat Kentucky. We should beat Toledo. If we beat Kentucky, who's an SEC team nonetheless, what if they low tier, mid tier, they still an SEC team. We dog walked them, took the trophy, paint the whole state red. So Toledo should be a great competition, but we should win the game. So hopefully I answer your question.
Answer my question. And Brent Fox, how you think Texas is gonna do against Michigan?
My bad. Can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you good.
Ooh, yeah, we can hear you.
Did we talk about the coach thing yet? No, did we?
Oh, we can't do it. We gonna get it.
No. I was gonna drop a little something on there. Well, yes, as Joe was about to bring up, you know, with the leadership in shambles at Michigan, I don't know if Michigan's mind state is going to be okay. So, you know, I think that the Longhorns should actually be able to take advantage of that and be able to win. Now, I'm not saying win convincingly. I think that we have a really bad habit of keeping people around and not doing what we're supposed to do on quite a few occasions. But I think our defense is strong enough to try to sustain Michigan's offense. And hopefully our offense is in tune enough to execute plays when they need to be executed, especially like on third downs and shorts. Hopefully we get some third down and short situations to where the conversions won't be so tough. And then we can utilize guys like Wisner and then some of our receiving core. Like if Arch is able just to get the ball out of his hand fairly quickly, then I think we'll be all right. If it's a situation where he got to sit back and think about some stuff, we probably finna be in trouble. But I think that if as long as we actually do a game plan that kind of ices out the offense and allows our defense to perform in spurts, then we should be all right.
Okay. JB, I know you are ACC man. How do you think that Duke is going to fare against Arizona State?
Man, first of all, we got to see if who's starting and who playing and not for Arizona State. Duke, same thing with Duke. We don't know who jumping in the transfer portal who playing, who not playing.
Right.
I know Duke won the ACC championship. You know what? Fuck that. Fuck Duke. Man, I hope Arizona State beat the dog shit out of Duke. Fuck Duke.
That's why I asked. Okay, instead of Duke, how you think Virginia is going to do against Missouri?
Oh, Missouri gonna put foot all up in Virginia ass. They gonna look. They got a good running game.
Virginia,
but Missouri has played better teams than Virginia. As far as because Missouri is a SEC team, right?
SEC.
Am I mistaken?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna beat the shit out of Virginia. Unless it's gonna be this type of situation where everybody not playing. Well, we're gonna talk about this too. There's some teams that Big Joe brought to my attention during the week that decide they don't want to play in the bowl game. So they like fuck everybody else who want to play. You know what I'm saying? It might be their last game ever playing football. Just because a couple of teams, a couple of players, didn't about to get drafted or they jumping in the portal. They said fuck everybody else. If I was a senior on that team, I'd be hot.
And thank you. That's one of the questions I wanted to ask. Before I ask, let me go to Coach, man. Coach, I know we're gonna save this for HBCU fanatics, but I think it'll be injustice if it's not mentioned on the Southern Baller Show. But we're gonna break it down to the bone bristle on HBCU fanatics this Thursday. But give us a short summary of the Celebration Bowl, man. And what was your opinion against Prairie View? It was Prairie View A&M versus South Carolina State.
Well, a real short. I went in detail on last night on my Celebration Bowl reaction, and we're gonna go all the way into it on HBCU Fanatics. But the short version of it is SWAC Coach of the Year, Tremaine Jackson, last week against Jackson State in the SWAC championship game. They were up 7. They were on the plus side of the field. Their team is a very good defensive team. They're fundamentally sound. They have a good running game, a good quarterback, Cameron Peters. And he's very conservative. And he, like Floyd Mayweather used to say all the time, straight up and down, no special effects. That's what their team are. They just basic, solid, fundamentally sound. Last week they got cute. And on that particular drive where they ran the reverse, it kind of killed their momentum on that drive. But they eventually ended up pulling the game out and they won 23-21. Well, yesterday in the Celebration Bowl, they were up 21-0. In the third quarter, they were on the minus side of the field, and they ran the exact same reverse that they ran last week, and it killed their momentum. So what happened was they fumbled the ball. South Carolina State scored. Then, instead of you putting your foot on South Carolina State's throat and suffocating them and squeezing the life out of them, they gave them new life. They gave them new hope. It re-energized their team. And South Carolina State made some adjustments. Shout out to former Southern University assistant and current South Carolina State coach, Kenneth Berry. They made some adjustments. They made the same adjustment that Jackson State made last week offensively. The adjustment they made was, Prairie View is a good team. They're very good in terms of run defense. You really can't run the ball on too much like Tom, but even as good as Trey Holly is when he tried to make all those cuts on a dime against Prairie View wasn't having none of that. Like their run fits and their gap integrity was very good against Southern. So what they did was they know you really couldn't run the ball against Prairie View and you really couldn't implement a short passing game. They made the same adjustment that Jackson State made last week. And essentially, they just tried to take the top off of Prairie View defense and stretch them vertically. And that opened up some other stuff underneath for them in terms of the quarterback taking off and run and some underneath throws. So that's one adjustment they made. And then defensively, the adjustment they made. Cameron Peters is really a dual threat quarterback. And a lot of the success he had last week in the SWAC championship game and yesterday in the Celebration Bowl in the first half, he passed for over 400 some yards. He ran the ball well. But third down situation, what they like to do is they like to run a quarterback draw with Cameron Peters, or they also like to run this low play that we used to run when I was going to Assumption, where basically the quarterback get the ball, the tailback lead for him like an ISO lead or like a wham type play, and he just run off of that. So what South Carolina State did was they start loading up the box, and they just start sending more people than Prairie View could block. So those adjustments kind of helped them get back into it, and they scored 21 unanswered points. Then at that point, it became a dogfight. Now, some people were saying like, "Well, coach, just that one turnover, like it didn't cause Prairie View the game. Like there was a lot more football to be played." I understand that. However, in terms of momentum of the game, South Carolina State had absolutely no momentum, and basically, Prairie View was in a position of the game where they could just put their foot on South Carolina State's throat and just end the game. But instead, you want to be cute and deviate from what got you to the second championship game in a row and the Black National Championship at that. You want to get cute and you want to deviate. It's like you did last week, but at least it didn't come back to bite you in the behind last week. It came back to bite them in the behind yesterday. They lost 38-40. I mean, there was some close controversial calls. Yeah. I mean, even my mom said this, Prairie View came to AW and they kicker, he made one field goal and he missed one field goal, right? So when it was 3rd and 3, instead of just getting the first down, keeping the drive going and score a touchdown and in the game, he decided like, hey, let's end this game now. So instead of trying to convert the first down, what he did was he had Cameron Peters center the ball so it could be directly in between the numbers and not at the right hash or the left hash, just directly in the middle of the field, and the kicker missed the field goal. So the reverse and that field goal call, I think those were the two key pivotal plays in the game. There was also another two-point conversion that really kind of won the game for South Carolina State. I thought it was a controversial call, but somebody posted the picture where the ball actually did cross the outside of the pylon. So I was wrong on that one. But at the end of the day, it was a good game. I'm glad it wasn't a blowout, but I still kind of felt like Tremaine Jackson, the SWAC coach of the year, and Prairie View's a team, I felt like they pissed that game away. Like, there's no way you're up 21-0 in a championship game and you turn around and you blow it.
Yeah, you know what, fellas, and I want to thank y'all in the group chat for you, Jay Good, Big Joe, yourself, Coach. Cause me and JB had to help a family friend move, a family friend move. So we didn't get a chance to sit down and enjoy the game. But just looking down at the phone, seeing y'all feedback.
Yeah,
when I
I'm not gonna lie.
We watched the highlights, so yeah.
It was a classic game. It was a hell of a game, but it's too bad that, some of the PV fans are just kind of, I guess they're upset about the way things happen. But, I mean, he a good coach. I think everybody make mistakes, but, you can't blow a game of that magnitude,
Yeah, you can't. But you know what? They made it to the dance. Yeah, they had a very damn good year. Just reload for next year. And just learn from it.
Yeah, but let me say this too.
Fairview A&M should be excited. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna be honest with you though, they shouldn't be too excited, bro. Because I'm gonna just be honest. After the season he had, 1 year in the SWAC, I think he's gonna be at Prairie View for a good time, not a long time. Because I think at some point, PWI gonna come calling, and I think just like Willie Simmons left FAMU and he went to Duke to be the running back coach. Now he's at FIU as their head coach. Best team they've had in a while. I think at some point Tremaine Jackson might get away from Prairie View. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will see. We'll talk about it on HBCU Fanatics. Um, but l- let's go ahead and go back to the playoff brackets, man. So I got JB's and Brent Fox's opinion on James Madison versus Oregon. Uh, they're they're gonna play on the 20th. Big Joe, who you think is gonna win that game? James Madison or Oregon in the first round?
This is the biggest layup if I ever seen one. This could go two ways. Oregon can show that they're the true powerhouse with all that NIL money sponsored by Nike, backed by Nike, with all 9,000 different uniform combinations. They can go out there with the 4 and 5 star recruits and the speedster guys and just dog walks James Madison because they're superior. Or they could take them likely and James Madison could have an upset. But Oregon's coach may be an a-hole. He may be pompous. But one thing for sure, he's going to have his team ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to get them prepared to say, hey, we're supposed to beat this team. Now let's go out there and beat this team and not take them lightly because they're here for a reason just like us. So Oregon should beat James Madison.
I said the same thing. Coach, who you think got this game? James Madison, or Oregon?
I'm gonna say something similar to JB. Not exactly what he's gonna say. I think Oregon is gonna beat the brakes, the tires, the rotors, the drums off of James Madison. This is a no contest, in my personal opinion.
Okay. All right. Okay. And on the same day, on the 20th, we already covered Tulane, Ole Miss. Me and Coach got Ole Miss, and Big Joe and Josh picked. No, excuse me. Me and Coach got Tulane, and Big Joe and Josh got Ole Miss. So Brent, who you got that game? Tulane or Ole Miss?
I got Ole Miss, man. Yeah. I
Three against two.
as much as I would like to see Tulane kind of figuratively rock the boat, I just think that Ole Miss should be able to pull this one out.
Okay. On the 19th, we got Alabama, Oklahoma. I'm actually gonna pick Oklahoma. Big Joe.
Go Boomer Sooner.
Coach.
Before I get to that one, just to go back on the Tulane thing, it's the best Tulane team I've seen in years. And not only that, I feel like John Summerall should have been the next LSU head coach. But since the next LSU head coach, not a current LSU head coach, Lane Kiffin is not coaching for Ole Miss, I think that's the reason why Tulane gonna pull an upset. But in terms of Alabama and Oklahoma, Alabama is a good team, but they're not as good as people think they are. I think Oklahoma is gonna win. And the irony is the matchup of two SEC teams,
And I forgot to say this, Jared. The reason why I'm picking Oklahoma, because Oklahoma beat them already. So there's a slight chance Alabama could win because it's hard beating the same team twice. We've seen that earlier this year with Georgia and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some chatter about their head coach maybe going to Michigan. So is he going to put the best game plan together, or is he packing his bags and getting ready to go to Ann Arbor? So with a little bit of distraction going on, the fact that his name is thrown in there in the first place, caused the pause. You dig what I'm saying? So, and I don't believe in the Alabama quarterback like that. So Go Boomer Sooner.
Okay. Brent, Oklahoma or Bama?
I got Oklahoma.
Well, either one, whoever win, they gon' I think they going into a slaughter. In the next round, they playing Indiana. But JB, Bama or Oklahoma?
I just got a feeling Bama just gonna walk away from a win with this one. I just got that feeling. I think it's gonna be a revenge game for Bama.
Yeah, they
they got embarrassed in the SEC championship against Georgia. I just think they're gonna win this game.
Yes, they did. And if they do get past Boomer soon, they gonna walk right into an ass whooping with Indiana. So it really don't matter. I think we already went over this game, but I want to reintroduce it again. Just what the hell? Miami and Texas A&M. Brent.
You know what? With this one, I don't know if my boy is back. My quarterback. I don't know if he's back. So I might have to take Miami.
Y'all tripping.
I might have to take Miami.
JB,
I mean, hey.
JB, why would you pick Miami again? I forgot your bullshit ass reason.
Miami, Miami versus Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is Miami's year. I don't know. Well, this is Miami's game. They're gonna be hyped for this game. It may be like a Cinderella story, not Cinderella story, because that program is historically been good, had success. So Cinderella story is the wrong word for it. Right. It's gonna rejuvenate Miami if they get a playoff win. So they're gonna be pumped to play in the playoff game. But yeah.
Okay, Coach, who you got, Miami or Texas A&M?
I got Texas A&M. I mean, I was leaning towards Miami, and I kind of have a lot of the same thoughts that JB has. However, this Miami team, it does not look the same to me as it did at the beginning of the season when it was just rolling and beating Florida State and that type of thing. They just don't have that same feel and same vibe at this point in the season as they had in the beginning of the season. And as a result, I'm going with A&M.
All right, okay. And Big Joe, who you got? Miami or those Aggies?
To be honest, it's really a toss-up. It all depends on which Miami team shows up. But I feel like Texas A&M is a more physical team. But Texas A&M had struggled their last game too.
I just really think it's not that hard of a choice. I think Texas A&M gonna roll.
What else you, brother? What else you, brother? But that's you, brother. I think what A&M they have a more of a physical team. So yeah, I'm gonna go with A&M, but I wouldn't be surprised if the real Miami decides to show up. The same Miami team that was top 5 in the nation at one point. So we gonna see. I got A&M.
Okay. Now, all jokes aside, I think Miami will definitely make it a competitive game, but I still think Texas A&M will pull it off. Might be even a blowout, but yeah.
Sound like you got money on this game, brother.
No, not much. I just think they're
You,
better
you
constructed football team.
sound like your conviction is tied to currency, brother.
No, no, I learned my lesson a bit. Um, but let's go ahead and talk about this dude, man. Coach Sharon Moore, Michigan. So he's currently in trouble and then okay, so he has some. He just got locked up, or he's being held for going over a woman's house, talking about he's gonna kill, not excuse me, off himself. So apparently he's been having a affair with this young lady
2 years.
for 2 years, and then recently more women have came out and said that he's been doing the same thing in a nutshell. So my thing is, before I get you brothers' opinion, my dude, you're a black head coach. Do you know your history? Do you know there's coaches probably even better than you, coaching at some damn community college somewhere, or Division III or Division II school, and they're probably not gonna get this opportunity? Why would you squander it? Because you think you pimp of the year. When we gonna learn? As black men, when are we gonna learn? I'm gonna go ahead and go get y'all opinion, man. This pissed me off when I heard this story. Big Joe, I'm going to you first. What's your opinion on in this foolishness?
Man. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too long because I don't want to steal too much of the brother's thunder. I'll just say this. As a man, you only have so many opportunities in life to seize the moment. You only have so many chances to where you can capitalize and achieve your goals. I had a moment to where I could have been in the NFL, could have made the roster, and who knows what happened. I got hurt, my window closed. That was it for my opportunity. Thus far, I had to cultivate new opportunities for myself elsewhere outside of athletics. Sharon Moore, I remember when he was at Louisville when I was there in 2009, 2010, 2011. He was there as an assistant. I remember Sharon Moore setting up bag drills and doing this and doing that as an assistant. So for him to go from an assistant all the way to the head coach of the University of Michigan is a big accomplishment, and he worked hard to achieve his goals. And he threw that all away due to greediness and him thinking that he's untouchable. When he got caught up with this scandal with the sign stealing from the guy, he deleted all the text messages. They retrieved them. They fined him. Hence the reason why Harbaugh bolted out and became the head coach with the Chargers. The same reason why Pete Carroll bolted out of USC to go to the Seahawks to get away from the fines and the punishment that was going to be put upon the school. So he got 1 game suspended for Sharon Moore's incident at with the sign stealing stuff. And Michigan still rewarded him with a contract making him $6 million a year. That's a lot of money to take care of your family, and to just, do what you worked hard to accomplish from an assistant all the way to the head coach of a predominant university. This is not a Bowling Green where Eddie George is at. This is the University of Michigan, a job that a lot of people will want. But you messed that up due to your lack of intelligence and your lack of discipline. Instead of thinking about your wife, who you made a commitment to, instead of thinking about your 3 daughters who you brought on this earth, you decided to be selfish. So not only did you destroy your reputation, you also destroyed the last name that your children will have to bear until they get married. So the real losers in this situation is not only his children who have to bear the embarrassment, have to bear walking around with his last name, and they can't go anywhere without everybody knowing what his daddy did. Who's also bears all this is the wife. Find out your husband cheated on you on national television. Now everybody knows, and you have to see the side chick's face on TV, and then other women are coming out saying you did this, this, and this. You're humiliated all over the place, and you're trying to figure out who is this guy that I thought I married. I know she's probably going through a lot right now, trying to figure out how did this happen and what were the signs. And the sad thing is, he slept with his assistant, and his wife followed his assistant on social media, and she knew who she was. So long story short, the husband and the side chick played in the wife's face this whole 2 years. And who also loses in this situation is the coaches, the assistant coaches. Coaches who think that they're going to have their flag planted in Michigan for at least 3 to 5 years. So now that this happened, they're going to bring in a new head coach who's going to want his own regime there. So a lot of these assistant coaches are going to have to pull their kids out of school. They're going to put their houses and condos for sale. They're going to have to start making other plans and other phone calls of where they can have employment at. Perfect example. They just fired the special teams coach. They brought in a new special teams coach this week. He just got there. Now he don't know if he's going to be there for the remaining tenure next year or not. He literally just got there, because I'm sure the new head coach is going to bring in his own homies to coach the organization. So the real losers in this is the coach's family, and Sharon Moore's family. Him doing the antics after him getting fired definitely ruined his career as being a coach anywhere ever. Yes, you made that mistake. If you owned up to it, you will still be employed. You're not the first coach to cheat on your wife, and you're not going to be the last. You might not be a head coach somewhere making $6 million, but you can be at a Toledo or a Bowling Green making $200,000, $300,000 as an assistant. You're still taking care of your family, and you're still making money. Now, not only did you lose your $6 million a year head coaching job, now no team, not even a high school team, is going to want to hire you for your so-called football knowledge. Not even as an analyst. Not even as...
We lost you for a bit, Big Joe.
At the very end, at the very, very, very end.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
They're not
Oh, yeah. So long story short, brother, without you not being accountable and you not being disciplined, you pretty much ruined and stained your family name. So I have no sympathy for him. What's happening right now is that the skeletons are coming out the closet, and now everybody gets to look at them and observe who Shamar Moore really is.
Damn. 86 Go said, "Don't trust a big butt and a smile. Guess you can't trust a flat one either. You stupid." 86 Go said, "Brothers going up north and losing their damn minds." Yeah, you're right. What up, Big Reg? Reg hosts a Big Boy Talk. Salute, brother. Make sure y'all check this brother out. He has a very good channel, very good content. You'll see 86 Ghosts on there and J6. Make sure y'all support this brother, man. But Brent Fox, what's y'all opinion on this Sharon Moore situation?
Man, let me first and foremost say, Joe, you a tough act to follow, brother. I think to a lot of Joe's points is this. and he even mentioned this previously. If you are in a leadership position and you are having to impart principles on, young men that are starting their journey into adulthood about life, regardless of how the X and O's line up from week to week. They look at you to see, they look at you to kind of see what to do or how to navigate tough situations. But when you have a leader like this, I mean, where do you go? And to be quite honest, I think that if he, like Joe said, like if he just kind of owned up to it and been like, hey, yeah, this happened. And yeah, I'm having to deal with this, then yeah, he probably still would have got fired. But at the same time, he probably would have been able to go somewhere else. Like, quite honestly, I think Bobby Petrino did worse. He had like a wreck on a motorcycle with a chick on the back. That chick shouldn't have been with him in the first place, and he still wound up getting employment somewhere. So, I mean, but he wasn't going over to the chick's house talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna delete myself if you don't if you don't do right by me. I think what happened with Mr. Moore, former Coach Moore, is a cautionary tale. Yes, if you get great power and you have great responsibility, shout out to Spider-Man, then you have to utilize that power responsibly, or when it consumes you, stuff like this happens. You just can't do that. And I think it's a cautionary tale to these coaches, and more importantly, like these parents and student athletes. And I'll just leave it there.
Well said. Well said. Coach, what's your thoughts on Coach Moore's situation?
My point of view is similar to the other brothers, but it's a little bit different from the standpoint of, for years I've been a middle school head football coach, and truthfully speaking, like I had a couple good teams, but I never felt like I had the kind of talent I wanted to be like a championship caliber team. And I'm an administrator now, so I still kind of, like, to a certain degree, regret never having won a championship as a coach, right? So my perspective is a little bit different in that regard, from the standpoint of, hey, even to this day, I wish I'd won a championship as a coach. But him, like, the Lord has blessed him with an opportunity to not only somebody like myself, who's just a middle school coach who never really, got to win a championship on the middle school level, but he had a high profile head coaching job at the University of Michigan. And because, in the words of the late, great Kevin Samuels, he didn't have any penile discipline. Basically, that golden opportunity that you had, that somebody like myself wish I would have had an opportunity like that. Basically, you just threw that opportunity away because, you don't have no penis discipline. And, it's, like the brothers were saying, this is a cautionary tale for men, not just for brothers, but for men in general. You have to think with your big head and not with your little head. And you have to make wise and prudent choices and prudent decisions. Like I tell the students at my school all the time. And for all intents and purposes, like Big Joe was saying, like what he did was extremely selfish. And not only did he put himself in harm's way in terms of the way he handled the situation after the fact, but he's also put his family at risk in terms of, you making $5-6 million a year. Like, that's the opportunity of a lifetime. And for you to have that type of security to take care of your family, and you just gonna throw it all away, and then not only that, after the fact, instead of just being a man and owning up to it, you saying you have self-deletion ideation and self-deletion ideology because of your poor choices and poor decisions. Man, miss me with the nonsense. At the end of the day, brothers and just people in general, you have to be accountable for whether you're a man or woman or whoever you are. You have to be accountable for the actions you take in this life. If you make good decisions, then you're going to reap good consequences in terms of the reward of those decisions. However, you make poor decisions, like our friend Coach Moore, then you're going to have to reap the consequences of that also. So at the end of the day, like Big Joe was saying, I really don't have no sympathy for him. In this context, I have sympathy for his wife and for his kids, because he put them in harm's way by his selfish, thoughtless, inconsiderate actions. So at the end of the day, I don't know if he was having self-deletion ideology and ideation because he blew such a high-paying job, or because he ruined his reputation, or whatever the case may be. But from what I'm understanding, like, him having these self-deletion thoughts are like a real thing. So at the end of the day, like, man, hey, he put himself in harm's way, he put his family in harm's way, and it's just an unfortunate situation. But he can't blame anyone but himself.
Our brother's cooking. I agree with everything y'all said. JB, lastly, man, and we'll get off Coach Moore. What's your opinion on this the unfortunate situation he's going through?
I think this is a very good example of, especially black coaches don't get too comfortable. As far as the success that you may have or may not have, I don't think you can do everything that you see everybody in your job or your company that they getting away with. Don't think you can do that. I just see everybody coming out, the news coming out. I just think that, especially with here in the Southern Baller Show, where listening to like people like Joe's experience with what goes behind closed doors in college, and coaches, what coaches get away with, what I'm saying, what players get away with, all of a sudden this comes to the forefront. And I was reading the other day about, they're trying to find a way not to pay him the money they owe him. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You can't say stuff like that to me, because that get me thinking. It's the Sean Watson situation for me, where Deshaun Watson asked for to get a guy out of Houston. Especially when they traded away Bill O'Brien, sorry ass, traded away D-Hop when D-Hop was in his prime, and some other players. And Deshaun Watson wanted out of Houston, and then all of a sudden the allegations come out. Looking at this situation, I don't feel sorry for Sherrod Moore. I just think he got too comfortable doing what he wasn't supposed to do. I think, to be honest with you, Michigan probably wanted to go in another route anyway, and they have found an excuse to do it. I'm just leave it like that.
And one other thing I want to piggyback off what JB said. Like, JB made an excellent point from the perspective of, I don't care if we talking about like Diddy or R. Kelly. In many instances, you can't do the same thing that your white counterparts do and get away with it. Once they reach a certain level, a certain status, yeah, they might be immune to the consequences of it. But you being a black man in America, you are not immune to those same consequences. So Vince McMahon and Hugh Hefner could do something, but P. Diddy and R. Kelly can't do those same things that the previous individuals that I mentioned did and get away with it. So there's a double standard from a racial standpoint in this country. So for you to think you could do the same thing they do and get away with it because you see your white predecessors or your white counterparts get away with it, like, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna fly. So you have to be cognizant of these type of things when you make these decisions. And like I said earlier, it's a cautionary tale from the standpoint of you have to think with your big head as opposed to thinking with your little head.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, and I'm gonna go off of just a story, Big Joe told me. I ain't gonna say no names. You got prominent coaches taking it down players' mamas in the office, and they coaching in the NFL. So, I mean, I don't feel sorry for Sherrod Moore. I just know that this is about playing the game. Like Big Joe said, Harbaugh and other coaches saw where the seat was getting too hot. They got the hell out of Dodge. I think Sherrod Moore, when he saw what was going on with the cheating scandal, the sign scandal, where they were stealing signals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sign signals. That's probably when he should have made his first exit. Period. He probably should have did that 1 year, and then he signed the deal, and I'll leave that alone. Look, man, we gotta be more smart. We gotta be smart, man. Period.
Just do the right thing in general. Just do the right thing.
That's being smart. You gotta do the right thing, man. And look, man, we already know that he could have been just a dumbass, just been cheating on his wife, or we know by me listening to other sports podcasts where they may send women out at you. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that, listening to stories from the Raw Room, other sports podcasts, where they do that to players, they do that to coaches, and Sherrod Moore sounded like he got caught up, and he thought he got comfortable because he was behind Harbaugh. He thought he got greedy, as Big Joe said, and he ain't got nobody else to blame but himself.
That's true. And then salute to Big Joe, man. He said he got to run. He said y'all be smooth. Oh, man, I'm happy you was able to take time of your day and join us, man, and bless us with your knowledge, man. So yeah, you have a blessed day, bro. But I agree with all y'all, man. I definitely agree. But yeah, it's definitely a cautionary tale. Not just black men to all men, but mainly my brothers, because just be real. I don't care what nobody say. I don't give a damn if people try to flip it like this is America. You could get all these opportunities fair. No. If you ever get this opportunity in this life, because nobody hardly look at LA and look at the homeless and tell me if everybody get the same opportunities. That's bull. And whoever I don't give a damn if your mom, dad, whoever, boss, they lying to you. If you're ever blessed to get an opportunity, be smart with it.
Therefore,
let's move on. All right. So we're going to go to the NFL, and we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. So, Thursday night, we had Falcons edging the Buccaneers 29-28.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had my Ravens blowing out the Bengals, and JB, you called it. We had our revenge game against the Bengals 24-0. JB, I know you want to say something. What was your feedback on this game?
Man, we beat the dog shit out of Cincinnati. I told you, you know what I'm saying? these last couple of weeks, we've been getting um, crazy, just bad calls from the officiating in the Cincinnati game and the Steeler game, and we haven't been playing good. Um,
Period.
Period. So, but I knew eventually we was gonna. I just had the feeling we was gonna beat Cincinnati, like we're gonna do the Steelers when we play them at home. So, but we're gonna get to that. Yeah. So I called it. When the seconds ticked off the clock. When Cincinnati beat us, I said, man, we're gonna play them at home, and I said we're gonna blow them out. Watch, and that's what we did. So, shout out to my Raiders getting business done.
All right. We need to still change them guard for a good job. But anyway, Eagles blew out the Raiders 31-0. That's not a surprise. Texans beat the Cardinals 40-20. Not a surprise. I want y'all opinion on this, man. This is the first time in years that the Chiefs will not be in the playoffs. The Chargers ended the Chiefs playoff hopes, beating them 16-13. In addition to that, Patrick Mahomes is out for the year with I believe it's an ACL injury.
Oh,
So, and which they put what that joker name, the backup quarterback,
Gardner Minshew.
put Gardner Mitchell in. He threw the game-sealing interception. So, coach, what's your opinion on the Chiefs missing the playoffs?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of agitated about it because, truthfully speaking, I like Patrick Mahomes. The thing that kind of irked me was for Thanksgiving, like literally all my family members wanted the Cowgirls, who I can't stand the Cowgirls. They wanted the Cowgirls to beat them or whatever. And I'm like, why everybody want the Chiefs to lose? They was like, well, we sick and tired of them. They've been to like 3 straight Super Bowls. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You don't need them to win the Super Bowl, but I don't want them to not make the playoffs. I want them to like make the playoffs and maybe lose in the first round, but you don't have to want them to not make the playoffs. And it was almost like they spoken in existence because, prior to that point, but especially since then, like they haven't been looking too good. And, it was kind of like only a matter of time before, they seal a deal in terms of not making the playoffs. So in terms of all my family members that didn't want the Chiefs to make the playoffs, they pretty much got their wish and the Chiefs did not make the playoffs.
Brent, what's your opinion on the Chiefs missing the playoffs?
Not really surprised, man. With unfortunately the way that they've been playing as of late, to me this was just a formality. Now I do hate that Patrick Mahomes had to have a season-ending injury in the process, but yeah, not surprised. Not surprised.
JB?
I mean, it's football, man. Look, man. Hey, nobody really cared when guys like Stroud was going through that. CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow been going through some injuries, and Lamar having his injuries situation during the year. This is just football, man. And then when you got situations where you got offensive line issues, along with Baltimore, the Chiefs, has not created or developed an offensive line behind Patrick Mahomes that he had to deal with. So I'm just trusting that next year they're gonna, be back in the hunt and they're gonna have better pass catchers and offensive line, during the year. Maybe they need to move on from Travis, Kelsey,
Mm.
is getting too long in the tooth. He's still a good player, but maybe they need to move him to, be the second, tight end,
Mm.
tight end two, and then let it get a young buck get some reps. Um, but you see what happens when teams hold on to players that was once good too long. They can, help the development of other players. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but it happens. It's football.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and one other thing I want to point out too. I mean, this goes to show you that if you make the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, like the difficulty from a salary cap standpoint, that it is to maintain like high caliber players. Like I saw with the Saints, they won the Super Bowl, and they just kept gradually losing like offensive lineman after offensive lineman. They kept
Mm-hmm.
Carl Nix, and they lost Jari Evans, and they lost this guy, that guy. So gradually, over time, when you keep losing good players, like it's hard to be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out with the salary cap. In the NFL, I mean, it's different with the NBA because the NBA has a soft cap, whereas the NFL has a hard cap. So it's difficult to be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out with the salary cap in the NFL. That's why many people believe that it's hard to create and maintain a dynasty in this modern age compared to like yesteryear when you had teams like the 49ers and their dynasty with Bill Walsh and then George Seifert after that. So it's difficult, to be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out with the salary cap and the structure of NFL player salaries and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But not just that. I was listening to the Get Got podcast with Marshawn Lynch and Michael Robinson, and they was talking. They had Terrell Suggs, Hall of Fame, outside linebacker that, and defensive end, and he was saying that the reason why you see teams that was in the playoffs for the past 4 or 5 years and they're struggling this year because it's not just that, coach. Like, and what you said was 100%, but it's the off season where they don't have the time or the weeks to heal, and you know what I'm saying, heal from injuries like other teams do. They just get a couple of weeks, and other than the off season teams that they don't make the playoff, they get more time to revamp and heal.
See what you're saying?
You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference as well.
Well, I mean, that's a valid point too, JB. That's an excellent point from the perspective of, like, in all actuality, that's the thing that really kind of killed like teams like the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons back in the day, was because when you go on these long playoff runs like year in and year out in either sport, NFL or NBA, and like you said, you don't have the same amount of time to recover during the off season that the team that wins the championship have, because I mean the teams that didn't make the playoffs, being that you make deep playoff runs every year and you win the championship, so you don't have as much rest and recovery time. But in addition to that, like, you got to realize with modern medicine and modern technology, you maybe have extended that shelf life, longer. But back in those days, if you look at like the Boston Celtics, once they made their run with their core group, like after they got knocked out by the Pistons, a couple of years after that, like that dynasty was done. And same thing with the Pistons. They won back-to-back championships. But after like that third playoff run when they got knocked out the playoffs by the Bulls, they were done. So I mean, you can even see it with Golden State Warriors. I mean, don't get me wrong, they don't have all the same players they had, but even if they did still have, of course, they still have Steph. If they still had Clay and they still had Draymond, like Father Time is undefeated. So after a while, like age catches up to you. But if you make deep playoff runs year in and year out, like you don't have the same type of rest and recovery. But in addition to that, it kind of gradually takes a toll on you from a physical standpoint. So that was an excellent point by JB.
Yeah, very good point. And 86 Go said they would have been trying to say Lamar was faking an injury. They was trying to say that when he got injured. I was on one podcast in the comment section and just supporting and I'm gonna be 100. A lot of Baltimore Ravens fans gonna know who it is. Two white boys and they content creators. And I put a super chat in saying, people out here trying to say that Lamar Jackson is faking an injury, and I forget what game it was. And they
the Chiefs game, I believe.
The Chiefs game, yeah. And they was alluding to saying, well, he was walking. Basically trying to say is they may got a point. I desubscribed them from their ass so quick. You actually believe that bullshit?
That he was faking an injury.
If you hurt, you hurt.
No, that don't sound like he was hurt. I think he was injured, to be truthful. If you hurt, you can play through being hurt. But if you injured, you can't play through that.
Thank you for the correction. Injured. Yeah, he was injured.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's been battling through injuries and being hurt for a good portion of this season. So I don't understand why that's their mindset or ideology. Had that been Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or somebody else, because guess what? I'm not trying to pick on Brent Favre, but when it was Ben Roethlisberger, they made it seem like, oh, he's such a Iron Man, a Brett Favre or whoever, you know what I'm saying? But when it's a brother, like, hey, y'all basically y'all monkeys.
That's it. That's exactly it, Coach. That's why I desubscribe. Oh, y'all got it in you and you don't even know it. If you believe that bullshit, but yeah, and I think that's what's gonna happen to 86 Go. Isaiah Likely might go to KC because I don't think we're gonna resign him, Isaiah Likely. But moving on with the scores, Bills come back and beat the Patriots 31-25. Man, come on. And we got the Patriots next. Jaguars blew out the Jets 48-20. Y'all know that the New York Jets ain't got an interception. Not one. All this season so far.
Maybe should have kept Sauce Gardner,
Maybe.
Nah, Sauce stay hurt too much.
I mean, if it was there, I think they'd have an interception, though.
But they not a good football team this year. I mean, if they're gonna keep Aaron Glenn, I think they're just tanking so they can rebuild for next year. This is just not a good year for the Jets.
Yeah, it's not. Giants and Commanders. Commanders beat the Giants 29-21. Now, Bears beat the Browns 31-3. Now, the Shador haters came out because Shador did not have a good game. He threw 3 interceptions. One of them came off the hands of I'm blanking on the dude's name. Jerry Jeudy. And went into the defensive back's hand. So
he ripped it away from Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah,
you can't let that happen.
Yeah,
especially after you talked all that crap and you had the whole fiasco with you standing over Shador and disrespecting him and that type of thing.
So, but Shador was just out there trying to make a play, but the whole game plan for offensive wise was horrible. Yeah, they need to go ahead and get rid of Kevin Stefanski. But moving on. Let me go back though. Yeah, so currently with games going on, we got the Panthers and Saints. Saints is trying to come back. But Panthers are up 17-10 fourth quarter. Lions are trying to beat the Rams, but the Rams got the lead 27-24 third quarter. Colts are in the lead, and Phillip Rivers even threw an interception. Threw a touchdown. Old ass Phillip Rivers threw a touchdown to Josh Downs, they slot wide receiver. Colts are winning, beating the Seahawks as of now 13-9.
Did you say Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers. They
Man.
signed old ass Phillip Rivers because Daniel Jones is out for the year with injury.
Oh, what happened to Anthony Richardson?
He's still hurt, I believe.
He got he got in a freak accident with his orbital bone. Excuse me, I can't say that word. Was broken. He was doing something with an elastic band and it popped him in his eye. So.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Man, hey, sound like they need to sue that band company, huh? No, for real though, bro. I'm not saying it as a joke. Like I'm serious. But damn, I thought they took Phillip Rivers out the past, and I ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah, I believe it too. Stefanski trying to make Shador look bad intentionally. Yeah, but it's gonna make him. With Shador, he gonna download the information. He gonna be better. It's gonna backfire. But yeah, Anthony Richardson, as Josh explained, he hurt. He trying to get that eye well. But Packers are beating the Broncos 21-23. It's been a back and forth. Titans, as usual, is getting beat. 49ers, Mr. Shelton 49ers are beating them 31-10. And then later on tonight, we got the Vikings Cowboys. Which I hope actually, I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win that one.
Hey, F the Cowgirls. I got the Vikings.
I hear you. And then tomorrow we got Dolphins Steelers. I'm praying the Steelers drop that game today, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, Miami got a strong running game, man, and we have not been good at stopping the run, so they might win.
Yeah, they might. Speaking of that, man, the Steelers are in the lead in the AFC North. Y'all think y'all can keep that lead?
No. With this team that we actually have this year, no. I have no confidence in them. None. I expect them to lose probably against Miami, and then I expect them to struggle or possibly lose against Cleveland the week after that.
It's funny you said that because us as Baltimore Ravens fans, we saying the same thing.
Yeah, I don't have, as long as John Harbaugh continues to play 72 and 77 in interior guard, I don't see us going far. This will be the year for you to make a run and actually win the Super Bowl with the AFC not being strong and the NFC is very beatable. I don't care what you say. But you chose to play experiments with your interior lineman, and you got your quarterback hurt multiple times this year. And I don't trust us as far as that. Defense is okay, but they're not as dominant as they were. Not even last year when we struggled at the beginning of the year. we don't have a pass rush this year. So teams with a good offensive line and with a good quarterback that's going to beat us. So yeah, so that's why um, Aaron Rodgers was able to sit back all day and pick us apart, along with some questionable officiating. But besides the point, we don't have a pass rush. So, and it's because, and I said this on the show, my Ravens sat on their ass when it was the trading deadline and didn't make enough moves to help this football team. So yeah, so whatever happens, happens. I knew we was gonna beat the Bengals. I'm not sure about the AFC as far as the Patriots, and we'll see against the. I think we'll beat the Steelers, but with John Harbaugh as our head coach, I won't be surprised if we don't.
Oh, y'all know
Oh,
the drill. Go ahead.
yeah. I'm so sorry, y'all. Quick and very important note. TJ Watt is actually out for this game. So
Tonight against
Yeah,
he
he got a collapse
yeah,
lung or something.
he had a collapsed lung. So they were doing a procedure on him to try to get him, acclimated and recovered, and it went wrong. Punctured his lung. He's out for this game. We do not do very well when he is not playing. So again, I will not be surprised or too disappointed if we drop this one to Miami.
Hmm. Okay, we gonna see because I'm definitely gonna be watching that game. Normally, because we did behind with time here, 'cause that's something I gotta do. Normally we pick the teams that's gonna win next week, but we're gonna do something different, man. Just we're dealing with time. So in the AFC, because the playoffs is coming, are we a couple of games are left in the regular season. So a lot of playoff hopes are ending now. As for the Chiefs, as for Cincinnati Bengals, um, so in the AFC East, you got the Patriots, Bills, Dolphins. Um, who between the Patriots and Bills, who you think is going to stay on top? You think the Bills are going to eventually take it back, even though the Bills beat the Patriots today? Or you think the Patriots will still stay ahead in the AFC East?
I got the Bills.
I got the Bills as well. Coach JB and Brent.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to look at their
Bills.
schedule, their remaining schedule, the remaining schedule for both teams. But I'm gonna actually take the Patriots despite the loss. I think that they've been a lot more stable and solid as far as the entire season goes, as opposed to the Bills kind of being up and down as of late.
Okay. All right, let's go to our division, Brent. Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. You know the Bengals and Browns are out. So we got the Ravens and the Steelers. So you think the Steelers going to somehow miraculously stay? Well, you pretty much said it, but I'm reintroducing the question. Or the Ravens going to get back in first place?
You know what? And it this is literally painful for me. Okay, so just give me a second. All right. I still have y'all taking the division. I again do not trust this team. We have shown the only thing that I know that we're consistent at is being inconsistent. So yeah, I don't think that we'll hold on to this. We didn't hold on to it the last time. So yeah, I've got y'all unfortunately taking the AFC North again.
And shit like this, Big Joe. And Joe, speaking of pattern, only had 2 sacks a day for the Chargers. See, that's why. The, and going good segue for JB. Why? Who do you think the Ravens have a chance to take it over, or because of the bad coaching and bad moves like shipping Hallway out? Will that bad coaching decisions keep the Ravens from going far?
And here's the thing: I was for the move because I thought they was going to replace him with another pass rusher, not an interior one, an actual pass rusher. But you basically shift out your best pass rusher and didn't replace him. You got what's the name? Jones. Was it Dearness or something?
Yeah, Dearness Jones. Yeah.
I believe that's his first name. Please forgive me if it's not. But he's okay, but he's not a true outside pass. He's more of an inside pass rusher. And of course you need that, but like I said, during that time we needed more. So you got a rookie. Mike Green's going to be good in the future, but he's still a rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's still a rookie.
When he go against those Pro Bowl, All Pro guards, tackles, left tackles and right tackles, he gonna struggle because he's still rookie.
Yes,
right?
He gonna get stonewalled. And then you got Tavius Robinson, which is a good rotational piece, but he's not, to me,
he's not consistent like that.
A consistent pass rusher like that. So I'm on what Brent on right now. I don't have faith in us like that. I have to believe in it.
It was Draymond
I have
Jones.
to see it.
Draymond
Jones. Thank you.
Big
Draymond. I have to believe it, or I have to see it to believe it, so to speak. If we win, because the Patriots gonna be pitched for losing to the Bills, so we better be ready. And they got people who can go out to the quarterback. Lamar took 4 sacks today versus the Bengals. So I don't look, man. If this is the same guy that started Tim Zebikowski over Bernard Pollard because he didn't like Bernard Pollard.
Which he's not a likable guy, but still, you trying to win a game.
This is the same guy who didn't want to start Brian McKinney because he didn't like Brian McKinney, and now he got his way. Now during the Super Bowl time around 2012, you had Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, who called him out and went to the front office, and Anquan Bolton, who said, "Hey man, something got to change." And we eventually fired our offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron, who wasn't good. And Brian McKinney was playing.
Left tackle.
And then Bernard Pollard was starting. So this Joker got 100% control over this football team now. So now you can see, even when he get good players and his way works, he always make bad decisions. You know, in the playoff games, instead of running the ball against the Chiefs, who had average to poor run game, you decided to throw the ball when they had the number 1 secondary in the league, and we lost that playoff game. You did the same thing when we played against the
Bills.
The Bills in Tennessee. The Lamar's first MVP year. So this is a guy who continuously get out coached, and because he's a rah guy, he's a come on guys, we can do it type of guy. But when he goes against somebody that knows the X's and O's, he gets out coached, and he relies on Lamar. He relies on Derrick Henry to get him out of trouble. This year it ain't worked because he got it his own way. He put 2 guards out there
that can't play.
And because he likes them, he allows them to play. And even Shannon Sharp said on the nightcap, the nightcap, he called out Daniel Falele about. He said ain't no way in hell that somebody is that bad that's behind them. And I don't give a damn what you say. I don't think Ben Cleveland or Bullock, Corey Bullock, or who else at guard? The rookie, number 51.
Emory Jones.
Emory Jones. I don't believe he's worse than Voorhees and Falele. Now, I'm not trying to. I didn't want to go on this rant, but this is ridiculous. This is the year that Baltimore should be number one in the league, and because of John Harbaugh, we're at 7-7. So I don't give a damn when we win. I don't give a damn if we win all our games, make it to the playoff. I don't care if we go on the run and win the Super Bowl. I think it's time for us to move from John Harbaugh. Period. Point blank. Go ahead.
All right. And going into one of the moves of John Harbaugh, Big Red said Elway got 7 sacks this season after he left. Yep, to Big Joe point. And Big Joe chose the Bills. Draymond Jones, yep. So to continue what we were talking about. So AFC South, you got the Jaguars and Texans, and then the Colts. This is actually the most. I think if this was the Colts' year to take it over, man, but I ain't gonna lie, because Daniel Jones got hurt, and then they got to rely on the old ass Phillip Rivers. This may have caused them to be delayed, man, another year. And Jaguars and Texans are 10-4. Jaguars are 10-4, and Texans are 9-5. Who do y'all pick to take it over? You think the Jags will continue to be on top of the AFC South, or they gonna screw it up? Big Joe? No, I keep on saying Big Joe. Coach?
I'm gonna go with the Ravens and the Jags.
You mean the Texans and the Jags?
No, the Ravens and the Jags.
Well, the Texans are in the AFC South, and the Ravens are in the AFC North.
The reason why I said it because I didn't pick when y'all talking with the previous topic.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Cause Josh was along with him. My apologies.
Yeah, I said the Ravens and the Jags.
My fault, Coach.
Yeah.
I know you good, bro. I'm just saying the Ravens and the Jags.
Oh, Ravens and the Jags. Okay. Brent, you already picked for the AFC North. Now AFC South. Who you got? Jaguars, Texans, or the Colts can somehow make a run?
I'm just gonna try to use common sense. I think because there's a better history, I'll go ahead and take the Houston Texans. Plus, it don't hurt that they in Texas.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Houston Texans, man. I think the Jaguars, they are they fool's gold. I think they're gonna find a way to mess it up. JB, what's your opinion on the AFC?
I'm gonna pick the Colts, man. I think Colts. I trust their roster more. I think if they can get their quarterback situation together.
I think it's too late, bro. But I hear you.
Hey, man, Phillip Rivers not looking bad, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Colts. Believe it or not, I think they still got a good running game. They got the best running back in the division and possibly the league. So as long as they just keep that running game going, I'm going with the Colts.
Okay, we're going to AFC West, fellas. We got the Broncos, Chargers, and the Chiefs and Raiders are out. So between the Broncos and Chargers, the Broncos are in the lead. They're 11-2, and Chargers are 10-4. So you think the Chargers can take it over, or the Broncos can have the lead? So, Coach, what's your opinion?
It's the Saints fan. There was a debate who was more imperative to the Saints, Mickey Loomis or Sean Payton. I think we got to answer that question. And not only that, but my mom and I talked about this right before I hopped on the show. I think once Sean Payton realized that once Drew Brees was gone and Taysom Hill wasn't gonna be the guy, and then Jameis Winston got hurt, I really felt like he knew he didn't have a franchise quarterback. So let me retire for this year, sit out the year, then come back next year and take over another franchise. So I think he basically saw the New Orleans Saints as a sinking ship and he jumped off. So I'm gonna go with the Broncos because I think Sean Payton, even though I felt like he kind of jumped off the same ship, he saw it sinking, and him and Mickey Loomis were button heads. I think, he got a good football mind, so I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah. Okay. And Big Joe said Texas are hotter than fish grease. Yes, they are. That's why I picked them. And he got the Broncos as well. Brent.
You talking about as far as the AFC West?
Correct. The Broncos are the Chargers.
Okay, yeah, I got the Broncos. I think, contrary to me picking stability, I think the Broncos this year have great momentum, so I'm gonna go with them.
Okay. JB, Chargers or the Broncos, AFC West.
Broncos. I just think that the Broncos got better pieces than the Chargers. The Chargers are going to give them a good game. As far as playing against them and taking the division, but the Broncos, that pass rush is nasty.
Okay. Let's move on.
And one thing I want to point out, bro, Bo Nix ended up being better than I thought he was going to be coming out of college. So I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And I applaud you too. Y'all ate y'all crow. Y'all was not impressed with Bo Nix coming out of Oregon, but y'all were honest and said he's better than what y'all thought. So shout out to you and JB.
I didn't eat a full plate on that one. He still be having the Bo Nix I thought he was games sometimes, but he got a good defense behind him and some good pieces around him. So yeah, but he playing good, man. He playing good.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, we're going with the NFC, fellas. NFC East, we got the Eagles, Cowboys, and the Commanders and Giants are out. Cowboys are 6-6, and the Eagles are 9-5. So you think it's too late for the Cowboys to catch up with the Eagles, or the Eagles will screw it up?
I got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well. Brent?
Eagles.
Yeah, I also think the Eagles will probably still hang on, despite what these Cowboys fans are delusionally thinking about.
Okay. NFC North, we got the Packers. In my opinion, most competitive division in the NFC. We got the Packers 9-3, they lead. Then the Bears 10-4, Lions 8-5, and Vikings are 5-8. So you got the Lions,
I got Packers.
Bears, Packers. Okay.
I got Packers.
I got the
Packers. The Bears is too young of a team. They got a young quarterback, and their defense is average.
Yeah, I got the Packers. I don't trust that Bears defense.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go to Coach division. NFC South. The Saints are.
I got the
out.
Carolina Panthers.
Falcons are out. Coach had already picked, and then you got the Panthers and Buccaneers. So Coach already got the Panthers. JB and Brent.
Man, right now the hot team right now is the Panthers. Tampa Bay just fell off for some reason. Oh man.
My fault. You come in the middle of chewing. I'm also going to go Panthers, also because of momentum.
Okay. I got the Panthers as well. NFC West, we got the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers. and then the Cardinals are out. So 49ers still got life,
I got
but
the Rams.
yeah, Seahawks and Rams. I got the Rams as well.
Rams.
Also, Ram.
Okay. All right, and the New Orleans Saints just made it a close game, 17-16 now. I think they probably kicked the extra point. But fellas, man, we've been on here for 2 hours and 30 minutes, so it's about time to pack it. It is time to pack it home, man. So I want everybody start with Coach. Let everybody know where they can meet you and see you. Coach, go ahead.
You could meet me and see me here on YouTube at Cool 67 Sports TV. My channel finally hit 1,000 subscribers. And
Congratulations, man. Y'all, man.
You.
Hold on, Coach. Let me do this. So, like he said, he finally hit 1,000. So, first of all, I want to say, man, congratulations, brother. You deserve it. You earned it. You got it, like a lot of young boys say, you got it out the mud, man. So, I'm so proud of you. Please continue to support this brother. Support his channel. Congratulations, Coach. Go ahead and finish up.
Yeah, I have exactly 1,000 subscribers. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. And the goal is not only for my channel to hit 1,000 subscribers, but for these other two brothers on the panel to hit 1,000 subscribers also. You know, we're trying to get all the members of the collective that have a YouTube channel to 1,000. So the work is not done yet. I am not resting. I'm not sleeping. But tomorrow I'm going to have the next edition of the tailgate party. After that, next Saturday, I'm gonna have a 1,000 subscriber celebration, and next Saturday also plan on getting another episode of Bayou Sports Talk in. So just come through, come support the channel. Tomorrow night, the tailgate party episode. I think with episode 18, I think. So come through and check me out. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings to the family. You dig?
Yes, sir. And congratulations, Coach, man. Congratulations. So proud of you, man. Brother Brent, let everybody know where they can meet you, see you, man.
First and foremost, congratulations again, Coach.
Man, thank you.
It has been quite the journey to that 1K, man, and I'm so proud of you. Where you can meet me and see me is usually on YouTube on Thursdays, probably around 7-ish or 8-ish. It's just me, hosted by Brent Fox, where I talk about primarily sports, but sometimes I can veer off to other social issues. So please check out my content whenever you have a chance. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Especially it's just me on every Thursday when he get a chance. So y'all support this brother as well. Like Coach said, we're trying to get him to 1,000 as well. JB, any lasting words so we can get out of here?
Yeah, man. Just like all the brothers said, man, Coach, congratulations, man. You know, God bless his consistency. God bless his drive. And God bless his love, man. You deserve it, bro. For all those categories. No problem, man. And look, hey, man, there's another week down, y'all. This is the holiday season. Man, y'all keep striving for greatness. Don't wait till the New Year's to change some things that you know that need to be changed. And enjoy this last couple of weeks of football. Basketball season starting to come around and rev up. And just want to say, y'all, yeah, man, y'all keep being safe and keep checking on family. And some people, if you gotta pray from a distance, you know who you need to do that to. But other than that, check on your family, and I'll talk to y'all next week on another edition of the Southern Baller Show. Love y'all.
Love y'all too, man. And Big Joe said congratulations, Coach. But
man, appreciate that to the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, man. But there was another good episode, man. Went over 2 hours, but this was well worth it. But make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, share. But I appreciate every one of y'all. This was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all be blessed.